Hola mundo, yo me llamo Señor Bellas y en este video vamos a aprender cómo usar el subjuntivo para expresar esperanza. So we're going to look at using the subjunctive for expressing wishes. For this form of the subjunctive, you're going to find that one person at the beginning of the sentence is going to want that somebody else do something. And the reason that this requires the subjunctive is because there's going to be doubt involved. If I tell you to listen to me, that doesn't mean you're going to do it. So like if I say, I want you to listen, that's going to be used as the subjunctive because you can choose to listen to me or choose not to listen to me. So with what you're going to see here is that you're going to have one person that wants, demands, insists, asks that somebody else does something, and then what that somebody else does is going to be in the subjunctive because there's doubt involved. If you haven't yet learned how to conjugate verbs in the present tense subjunctive, you're going to want to do that. So with the text that you're looking at right now on the screen is available to you in a document form. There's a link in the description of my video that will take you to this document that you're looking at, and these links are live on that document. So if you open up the document, you can click on this the present subjunctive and check out my video on the subjunctive, and you can learn how to conjugate verbs in the subjunctive if you haven't yet learned that, because I'm going to assume that you do know that in this video. So some words or verbs that are going to trigger the use of this form of the subjunctive are right here. I'll go ahead and pronounce them for you so you know how to do that. We have dejar, exigir, insistir en, oponerse a, prohibir, rogar, suplicar, aconsejar, desear, esperar, mandar, pedir, permitir, querer, recomendar, sugerir. So these verbs you're going to find at the beginning of the sentence, and then you'll see here in just a second. So I'm going to come down here a little bit and give you some examples. So the first verb here is going to be conjugated in the present tense, and then the second one's going to be in the present tense subjunctive. I'll read them to you and translate them for you. Mis padres ruegan que yo no use drogas. So my parents beg that I don't use drugs. And the reason I put in the usar over here into the subjunctive is because they may be asking me to not do this, but I can decide to do it. So there's doubt as to whether or not I'm going to make this decision or not. Dos, los estudiantes quieren que sus maestros no les den tarea. So they want their teachers to not give them homework. Again, their teachers may or may not. There's doubt, so I'll use the subjunctive. Tres, recomiendo que no comas el BLT. So I recommend you not eat the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Again, you could choose to do so, so there's doubt. Cuatro, el consejero aconseja que tú asistas a la universidad. So the counselor advises that you attend the university. You may choose to or not to go to the university. So all of these have doubt as to whether or not the person is going to do the things. So we don't have to decide, should this be in the indicative or should this be in the subjunctive? It's just going to be in the subjunctive, which will make that part easy. We just need to make sure we know how to conjugate verbs in the subjunctive. So go back and do that if you haven't yet learned that. Just an FYI for you, if there's no change in subject and no K, then we don't need the subjunctive. For example, if I want to say I want to eat, I'm just stating a fact. That's how I feel. So, yo quiero comer. I don't need the subjunctive in that sentence. I'm not saying I want that I eat or something weird like that. You're just saying I want to eat. Or mi amigo quiere comer. My friend wants to eat. If I said something like I want my friend to eat, now I need the subjunctive because maybe he will, maybe he won't decide to eat. Just kind of thought I'd point that out to you. So I have an activity for you. We got these 10 sentences here. If you want to handwrite this out, you can. The document's available to you. Otherwise, if you want to pause the video, you can do that as well and jot down some answers. So the first verb is going to be the present tense, and the second verb will be in the present tense subjunctive. So if you want to practice here, take a second and see if you can do this activity. Pause the video though, because I'm going to start going over the answers here in just a second. Okay, here come the answers. I'll read them to you, and then I'll translate them for you, just in case you wanted to know what they mean. Uno, ellos exigen que el camarero traiga la comida enseguida. So they demand that the waiter bring the food immediately, or at once. Dos, mi padre insiste en que yo haga mi tarea inmediatamente. My dad insists that I do my homework immediately. Tres, los conservadores se oponen a que el presidente vaya a Colombia. The conservatives oppose that the president goes to Colombia. Cuatro, yo prohíbo que mi hijo se quite la ropa en la tienda. I prohibit that my son takes his clothes off at the store. Cinco, tú suplicas que tu amigo conduzca el carro. So you ask that your friend drives the car. 6. Mis abuelos desean que mis padres, error, me manden a la universidad. My grandparents desire or want that my parents send me to the university. 7. Yo espero que mis estudiantes empiecen a trabajar pronto. I hope that my students begin to work soon. 8. Nosotros mandamos que la chica salga de la clase. We order that the girl leaves the class. 9. Esteban pide que el postre sea más grande. So Esteban asks that the dessert be bigger. Y 10. Tú sugieres que yo recoja la leña para el fuego. You suggest that I collect the wood for the fire. So I use a lot of irregular verbs in the subjunctive here. So a lot of these times, hopefully you were thinking about what's the yo form of traer? Traigo, and that's how I form the subjunctive. The same with hacer, hago, that's how I form the subjunctive. Conducir, conduzco, I use that to form the subjunctive. We have a cargar zar verb here where the z changes to a c. The recoger with a G, you got to change that G to a J to keep that sound of recoger in there as well. So that's what this is, the subjunctive for expressing wishes or desires. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Be sure to leave a like if you liked it, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.